Are you an RC flying hobbyist? Do you enjoy flying your aircraft or your drone in your free time? Well, you might want to sit down for this because we've got some news for you. The FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration in America, recently released a new regulation called Remote ID. And it's not good news for enthusiasts like us. Remote ID is a new requirement that mandates all unmanned aircraft to broadcast their location information to anyone who has an app to receive it. This information includes the drone's serial number, its location, its altitude, and most importantly, the location of the pilot. Imagine that. You're flying your drone, minding your own business, and anyone who's got the app can find where you are, come and make a nuisance with you, and possibly even steal your drone. The FAA claims that remote ID is necessary for safety reasons. Come on, we all know that's not the case. There have been no recorded incidents of a life being lost from the recreational use of multi-rotor drones, or to give them their correct name, quadcopters. The truth is that remote ID is not about safety, it's about big business. Big business taking over our hobby airspace. By mandating remote ID, the FAA is giving big corporations like Amazon and Google and all that lot the ability to track and monitor our every move. This regulation will make it difficult for hobbyists to fly their drones in peace without being surveilled constantly. The only places you will be allowed to fly without remote ID will be in areas called FRIAs, FAA Recognized Identification Areas. Only a limited number of these will ever be issued, and after the first tranche are approved, no new ones are ever going to be issued. Even though remote ID is mandated from this coming September, so far very few FRIAs have been approved. And they seem to be doing it about one a month. It's ridiculous. Remote ID is also likely to hurt the drone industry by limiting innovation and creativity. Small companies and startups will find it difficult to keep up with the new regulations, and the cost of compliance will be too high for many. And this will lead to the stagnation of the industry and a lack of new and exciting products for hobbyists to enjoy. In addition, and this is really important, young people wanting to come into the hobby will find it more and more difficult. Schools are unlikely to be able to teach flight as part of their STEM programs, as they'll be unable to let their students fly. Many people currently in the aviation industry, so many of them started out by flying model aircraft and getting the bug for aviation. And this predicates a shortage of pilots in future decades. This affects model flyers in the US. So why am I, who lives in Europe, making this video? Well, it's quite simple. Where the US leads, the rest of the world inevitably follows. And I believe that it will be no time before the UK, Europe, and Australasia look at introducing similar regulations. So what can we do about it? Well, we need to fight back against this over-regulation by creating as much noise as we can to let the FAA know that we will not stand for this infringement on our privacy and on our hobby. We can do this by publicising the issue as widely as we can through social media to get the print media to consider this as a story, to spread the word about the negative impact of remote ID. Remote ID is a regulation that hurts the modern flying hobby and limits innovation in the industry. It's time for us to stand up for our rights and fight back against this unnecessary and intrusive regulation. And you can help enormously by commenting on this video, by hitting the like button, by subscribing to this channel and sharing the link with your network, and viewing the many other videos on YouTube and on social media about this subject. Thank you, and if you're a flyer, do enjoy the hobby while you can and make as much noise as possible.